Start off the project today with a piece of card that's 12 inches by 11. So we're going to start scoring. This is a double-sided card. This is going to be on the outside of the bottle. So what we're going to do is we're going to start scoring along the 12-inch length of the card. So our first score is 2 inches. So just tuck your card into the corner. So score at 2 inches, and then again at 10 inches. Then turn your card 1/2 turn, so it's running along your 11 to your 11-inch side. Now we have to score at 1 3/4. So that's 1 3/4. That's 1 and 1, 2, 3. Score here. Then we're going to score at 3.5 inches. That's 3, and there's our half mark. We're going to score down there. The next one is 5 1/4. So there's your 5, and there's your 1/4. And then 7 inches. So our 7, mine is tucked under here. Now I make a lot of exploding boxes. If you've seen some of the other tutorials that I make, so that's why I've got all these little notches, all these little marks running along here. So just ignore those just now. So after our 7-inch score, we go to 8 3/4. So there's 8, 1, 2, 3/4. Score down there. And the last one is 10.5. So 10.5. This is the area that makes the tab so that you can fold over the box. Okay. Now what I've done is I've actually, even though it says 10.5, I've came in 1 because this is really thick card, and I want the wrap for the bottle to be really neat. So as you can see, this is all our scores. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make some notches so that we can cut V-shapes, the V-shape that you've seen in the top of the bottle. So now what we're going to do is we are going to notch just a tiny little mark in the middle of each of our scores. You can see this, the length of the scores. We're going to mark a little notch in each one of those. 7/8 7-inch. So you just count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to put a little notch there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next one is 2 5/8. So there's 2, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A Martha Stewart scoreboard runs on 1/8 of an inch. Each line is 1/8 of an inch. So the next one is 4 3/8. So there's 4. Then we count 1, 2, 3, 8. It should take us into the centre of each of our long score lines. The next one is 4 3/8, 6 1/8. So that's 6 1. Let's just score there, notch. 7 7/8. So there's number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Little notch in there. And then 9 5/8. So there's 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a little notch there. Okay, so as you can see the little notches. If I can catch the light. Can you see the little notches? And I'll show you what we're going to do with those later. Now, what we're going to do is, on either side you've got this rectangle here, we're going to cut this rectangle out. So the rectangle that we've got here, we're going to cut this out because we don't need it. And the same on the other side, down the bottom. So we're left with a tab. This is so we can stick our box together. So just cut out a little notch here and a little notch here. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to fold all our score lines. I'm folding this way because this is going to be on the outside of the bottom. The top and the bottom. And then our tab. And then each of our score lines. Now this is pretty thick card that I'm using, so it's going to be well worth for the bottle, take the bottle's weight. Now what we have to do is, next, is we're going to cut up these scores down the bottom. Just to your first score line that runs along. This is going to make the tabs for the bottom of the box. There we go. And we're going to do the same to the top that's got the little notches on. Now you can use whatever card that you want, or as long as it's quite sturdy, you can use double-sided. It doesn't have to be double-sided. Now what we're going to do is, where you've got the little notch, you can see the little notches here. You're going to go from the notch down to the corner to make a point. And then from the notch down to the corner. So we're going to do this to the top of our folded box, all the way along. This is going to be the top. So now I've got them rounded off at the top. I've got a paper punch. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to cut, I'm going to pop these in, and I'm just going to roughly punch a hole for my ribbon. There we go. So the next step is we're going to turn it this way. Now I've cut myself another piece of the card that matches this side, and I'm going to stick them in here just for a little bit of decoration. I'm going to stick them along like that, nice and straight. I'm just going to glue them on, or you can stick them on with some double-sided sticky tape, just along here like that. So now I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've got all our panels on, got our holes done, we've got our slits all cut. So what we're going to do now is along this tab with double-sided sticky tape, along this tab. We'll just take the top off our double-sided sticky tape. And then we're going to fold this tab onto here. There we are. So we're nearly done. Now we're going to fold these in like this. Along the bottom of the bottle. So the best thing to do is put your bottle in. Now I've already made a little collar around the top of the bottle that corresponds with this. So we're going to put this in. Now, as some of you may be aware, my webcam's not that far away from where I work, so this is going to come up a little bit high, so sorry if it's in your face. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom, and then I'll tuck all those tabs in. And to stand the bottle. Now, there we go. Now what we need to do is, we need to feed our ribbon, and I've got these holes, my piece of ribbon. Now so I'm going to get the bottle out just for a few minutes. When you try to thread ribbon through holes, the easiest way is just to put a little piece of sellotape on the end of your ribbon, because then it's so much easier to thread your ribbon through. So I'm going to go this way. So I'm just going to thread this through the holes. If you get a lighter and just very quickly just singe the edges of your ribbon, it's going to stop it from fraying. Just be careful you don't burn your fingers. There we go. Here we are. Now we're going to bring our bottle back. We're going to slide our bottle back into the sleeve. We're going to tie the ribbon and just make a little bow. Now what I've also done is I've made this little butterfly. So I've made this little tag. I've used my Silhouette Cameo and I've cut myself out this little tag, and I'm just going to get a little piece of thread. I'm just going to be quite rustic. Cut it off. Of the bottle. Now I'm keeping my bottle lying down because it's a little too tall for my webcam. So I'm just going to tie this bottle off in a knot. Just leave it like that. Pull it round to the right side, and there we go. And that's our finished bottle wine. Yeah, maybe need to bring the tag up a little bit. So there we go. Pretty, isn't it? Now feel free to pop by my website. It's mycrafttutorials.co.uk, where there's lots more information, reviews, tips and hints, all to do with crafting. Thank you very much. I made the wine box, and on the panels I've stamped little butterflies in a burgundy red. I've put a pink ribbon on, and what I did, I covered it in lace. I just got this roll of lace. It was actually from the bridal section in the garden centre. It was £2.45 I think, and I've just put, it makes it very, very pretty. If you use a much lighter card, almost, if this box was turned around the other way, you could put the lace on and it would look absolutely beautiful. Now, the butterfly that I've got here, that I've also put on the other bottle, somebody asked me what it was, what the die was, and it's a Cherry Lynn design die. I'm going to hold that up so you can see it. And it's called Small Lace Fairy Queen. And a little angel one, you get a little extra wing here that makes this part here when you cut it on a joint. So that's the die that I used for that. So I've did the decoration on this one. I've made it for a wedding. I put some pearls around the bottom. I put some pearls around the top. I put the lace over a beautiful white and ivory card, and I made this beautiful little tag, and it just says congratulations to you both, with the same matching ribbon around the top of the bottle. So you can do these with champagne bottles and they're absolutely beautiful. So if you visit my website, mycrafttutorials.co.uk, I'll have a little list of all the measurements that you need to make these bottle jackets. So have fun, and I'll see you again the next time. Bye!